Hi everyone, it's Doily, Kiwi Scrapper from New Zealand, and back again today to share with you the second project or item that I made for my swap with Donna, and that's donnadreamx3 on YouTube. And as I said yesterday when I showed my corset wall hanging for Donna, we agreed on 3 items to make for one another. One was the corset wall hanging, one was a doily bag, so that's a bag made out of doilies, and the third was the button fairies, 2 button fairies. So I actually haven't made the button fairies yet, even though this is going to be posted out this week, and that's because I just have not been able to find the 20 gauge wire that I need to make those with. So I'm going into the city tomorrow, and hopefully I'll find it there, but Donna knows all that anyway. I just popped that there for you to look at. I love rose plates, aren't they gorgeous? I have a whole collection of them on my dining room wall where I'm filming this. So okay, so this is my doily bag, and I'll show you the back. Start you off with the back. It always seems a good place to start. Whoops. Yeah, so I've used a vintage doily here on the back of it. When Donna and I talked about this, we didn't agree. We didn't stipulate any particular design that we had to do our projects in, or any particular colours. We just did our own thing for one another that we thought each other would like. So this is a vintage doily here, and it's an unusual colour because I very seldom ever see them in this colour. It's kind of like a, I don't know, a cinnamony, peachy colour. Anyway, it had a little, very pretty, and it had a little sort of a raised flower in the centre, and inside of that I just popped a piece of a flower that I'd cut off a piece of lace and from Shabalicious, and popped in a little flat back pearl. And I pulled it out so that the tops of these scallops would show on the other side around this area, not around the bottom because the bottom obviously is fuller and longer, but around the top edges. So anyway, I've tried to remove all the glue strings I possibly can, but because this is a high definition camera I'm working with now, I've probably missed some. I don't know. I hope not. Anyway, so there's my that's the hanger. That's the bag that I've done, the doily bag I've done for Donna. And I just did a foundation in calico. Well, it's calico in this country. It's unbleached cotton. Just plain unbleached cotton. Yeah, so I use that for all my fabric albums and everything else as a foundation. So I've used that, and you'll see it just sitting in there. And and I wanted this to be a different shape, because when I've made doily bags previously, I think I've made 2. Yeah, I think I've made 2 or 3 maybe. I've done them in the normal rectangular shape. So this one I did as a circle. I cut out 2 circles, and then I started put them together, and then I started building up the doilies on them. And the first thing I did is I put this beautiful doily here, which is covered up as we do because we want layers, but absolutely beautiful. It's got a big leaf layer inside, and it's white. So and then around that I started to embellish it. I put these very pretty iridescent flat back pearls. They're kind of like, when you look at them, they're basically white, I guess. They're a white pearl, flat back pearl, but they've got this beautiful iridescent sheen, which hopefully the camera is picking up, but I'll do some close-up shots anyway. There's one of those dreaded glue strings I've just spotted. And on top of that I put another beautiful vintage doily, which is probably about the 1930s, 1940s, I guess. It's a beautiful leaf, another leaf design, but instead of the leaves going out this way as the white one was, the leaves are going around in the circle. Then I picked out the image I wanted to use because I wanted to include an image, and this is actually a paper image, but I've because I didn't have an image that I wanted to use on this bag in colour. They were either too small or they weren't suitable in the style that I wanted. So I used this paper image I had, which I've used recently in colour and in fabric on a big wall hanging I did in another swap, a previous swap of a few weeks ago, and that was for Kay Cassicans 1 in England. So I used the same image, but hers was in colour and it was on fabric. And this was a black and white image, so I just very carefully coloured it up in here and on the headband with an acrylic paint called, I think it's called Pink Lemonade. Yes, I love that name. So I coloured up her dress, the little trail at the back. It's a little Georgian image from about the 1820s, 1830s. She's got a little kitten sitting on her shoulder, and I just put the pink band around her head. So it's turned out to be like a coloured image, but it's a black and white. And then I Mod Podged over both sides of it several times to make it nice and strong. And then around that as a border, I use this, this is from, it's a lace trim from Wild Orchid Craft, and beautiful, really beautiful, because you can use it as a whole lace trim as I've done here, or you can cut it separately as I've done over here for separate little flowers, and you can use it for flower centres and on your handmade flowers. And then in the middle of each one I put a sequin, beautiful white, they're vintage sequins that I found in an op shop, a whole bag of them, and they're sort of white but they're very pearlised, and a beautiful pearly sheen, iridescent sheen on them. So that went around that, and then I started building up my flowers, and these are all, this is Wild Orchid Craft, I think it's a gardenia, or this is the, yeah, that's the gardenia, I don't know, this is an azalea, and this is a slightly different one, but they're both Wild Orchid Craft. They're fabric, they're done in the satin with sort of a chiffon layer, and this is a handmade flower that I did myself, and in the middle of it I put a trim that I had left over from my recent guest design team spot for July for the shop Shabalicious. That's run by Lily Lineker over in Norway, and this was one of the things I had left over, so I used that as a flower centre, so thank you Lily, it's lovely. And then on top of that I put a Wild Orchid Craft mulberry paper rose, and this is a rolled rose, it's one of my own. And then I just made a big chiffon bow, which is the flowers are made of the same chiffon because I wanted it all to match. And then I put a little centre, one of these in the centre with a little sequin in there as well. Oh, there's another little flower tucked in here. I think the two azaleas and whatever this was. Might be a gardenia, but I'm not sure. And then around here, just to finish it off, I used this trim just from Wild Orchid Crafts, just popped it in there. Put flat back pearls, small ones. And I've put vintage, and these are true vintage buttons. They're not the ones made now to look like vintage. They are actual true vintage buttons. And I've put them right the way around, even you can just see one tucked in there. So they're right the way around that whole thing. Now down the bottom here I cut a vintage doily in half, a small one. Not too small but smallish. And I used each half, one half, I put this half on, then overlapped this half on top of it and stuck them together. I put this beautiful Wild Orchid Craft, no sorry that isn't, no that's not Wild Orchid Craft, that's one of my own, from my own pearl trim that I got locally from Off Trade Me, which is the New Zealand equivalent to eBay, and I put it around here as well, right the way around both the circles, right the way up here to over here. And then I covered that with, well not covered it, but just edged it with this very pretty delicate cream crochet lace that's got a pearly sheen to it. So it's all very glitzy and pearly, which I love. Yeah, you can just see inside there I finished it off with putting lace around there, and I've just put a chiffon tie. Now, we didn't discuss whether this was going to be a usable bag or whether it was going to be decorative. I just presumed it was going to be decorative, so hopefully that's okay. So they're lovely to hang on the wall, and I'm just going to zoom in and give you some closer shots. So that's the image. So my handmade flowers here, the wild orchid craft flowers, and the chiffon bow. And these lovely, oh, you can't see that actually, it's just out of shot. Beautiful trims around here. If I just move it over there, you'll see the little iridescent pearl, flat back pearls, the little flowers around here, and I'll lift it up, you'll see the bottom piece. Oops, maybe not. Now you'll see the bottom piece. I'll just lift that up there, and that's the bottom, the half moons that I cut and trimmed with the lovely pearl trim here and over here, and that goes right from here, right underneath and the right way. Oh, and under here there's another piece of trim, which is a kind of a net lace trim. So that's that. And because this is a high definition camera, hopefully it'll pick up all those beautiful sequins and iridescent things there. Over here we've got, these are the flowers that I made myself, and my rolled rose. These are not the flat rolled roses that you do, these are the dimensional rolled roses. And here there's, there's azalea, and I think gardenia, the wild orchid craft. But these are fabric. Okay, so I'm just going to pull back a wee bit. And I hope that I just put a normal little chiffon tie on, attach it to the bag. I like these. I tear them off the fabric in strips, so they've got sort of frayed edges and they sort of go in. It's a vintage look. The corset wall hanging I did for her yesterday was definitely shabby chic and pinks and creams, ivories. This is definitely another style that I love to work in, which is the vintage style. So she's got a bit of both. And Donna, if you know, hopefully you're watching this at some point. I hope you really like this, and well, I hope everybody watching it really likes it. It's been a fun swap. I've still got the 2 button fairies to do, but it will be in the post, winging its way to America this week. So thank you for watching, everybody, and as I say, I hope you like both this and the corset project I did, and I'll be popping the button fairies up on a video whenever, you know, when I get the chance to do them this week before I post out. So thanks for watching, everybody. God bless. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.